Hey guys, it's me again. Hi, it's me. My internet's the problem. Probably. Yeah, so this is a continuation, a sequel, if you will, to the first Facebook Live we were doing. Something happened with the internet connection there. I'm not sure what. But now I think we're back. I hope we're back. Maybe we're back. With any luck, we're back. I think we're back. We are so back. We lost you, but then I found you. So here we are again, hamming it up another time. So if you know someone who's watching the last one, tag them so they'll see it and come to this one. Big, mean, ugly storm over here in Lee County. Man, northwestern Lee. It's not rotating. We'll double check that in a minute, but just a ton of lightning in this. I'm going to turn that off so that we can see the rotation if there is any. Let's check that real quick. No, not really. No, not really. Maybe a little mid-level convergence signature. That's consistent with a downburst and straight line wind, by the way. So they've issued for it. They got a severe thunderstorm warning up for Lee County. That's the right call. That's a downburst looking signature. And then down here, there's a little mid-level rotation in that. So yeah, that's a nasty storm. And this is going to go right across Lee County and affect a lot of people in the county. We'll animate this so you can see it. It's moving east pretty quick. This will sweep right on across northern Lee. So from Lochapoka's getting it now, then Auburn, Opelika over the next 15, 20 minutes, gusty wind, torrential rain, loud thunder, frequent lightning, maybe even enough wind in this to cause some problems. So Josh Nichols says he is sorry and that I need to unblock him. Somebody that knows him just commented and said that. Well, look, I think there's got to be a process here. There's got to be like an appeals process. I think he probably is going to have to get me some Sunkist Zero. I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. I'm just kidding. I'll probably unblock him in a little while. So yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm a nice guy, I promise. Lee County, severe thunderstorm warning. Southern Chambers in that as well. So if you live in Chambers County along the Lee County line or into Lee County itself, stay indoors, stay away from windows. If you really want to be overly cautious, you could go ahead and get the center part of your house, small room, just in case a tree were to fall on it, something weird happens, right? You don't need to get out and go to a tornado shelter. That would put you in a more dangerous situation than the storm itself. So don't worry about that. Just sort of batten down the hatches, right? Stay inside, stay away from windows, that kind of thing. Let's go back to the home view here. Another strong cell down here. This would be northern Crenshaw. It's interesting the way this night is played out. Earlier, up in this part of the state, Montgomery, Autauga, Elmore, we had multiple storms that rotated significantly, but the storm was elevated because there was cool, dry air in place. And now that the warm air has surged north, the storms aren't really rotating anymore. So we talk about this a lot, that for a tornado outbreak or a tornado event, you need an overlap, right? It's not enough to have warm, muggy air near the ground and cold air aloft and wind shear. You have to have all three of those things in the same place at the same time with active thunderstorms in that same place and at that same time. So I think what we've seen tonight has been you've had a lot of wind shear earlier, but the warm air didn't make it far enough north to create big tornadoes. And now that the warm air has made it north, the wind shear is in the process of leaving. That's not to say the tornado risk is over. I'm just telling you that I think if that warm front had been 6 hours faster, we would be having a whole different conversation right now, and we would have been in continuous weather coverage for hours and hours on end. So there you go. Look, anyone in mobile homes, no, you do not need to go to the shelter. Brittany asked about Lee County. Tons of rain, tons of wind across the board there. Oh, so Haley says, what's so funny is that Josh Nichols posted the video of me roasting him, and it's pretty much went viral. So I got that going for me. That doesn't seem like a good thing to have going for me. I don't want to be viral. I don't. No desire. In fact, I aim to not be viral. That is my goal. No viralness. Autauga County, yes, you can go to sleep. Rotation in Lee, no, not really. Strong straight line wind signature, but no rotation of any sort of significance. Let's go back over to the reflectivity here. Yeah, really nothing to it. This is a straight line wind producer right now. The warm front's near here, though, and those warm fronts can oftentimes help with wind shear, right? They can spin up tornadoes in environments that otherwise aren't producing tornadoes. So we got to kind of keep an eye on that. Notice Solga, it just got crazy here and then went silent. And hey, look, that is something that happens sometimes with big, ugly storms. It's also something that happens with small storms. They're there, it's loud, it's rowdy, and then they leave, and it gets quiet all of a sudden. And then on a night like this, you've got another one back behind it. So it'll get quiet, and then the wind will kick back up, and it's scary, right? Because the movies have kind of trained us like, it gets quiet, and then a tornado hits. None of these storms are showing any kind of rotation strong enough to produce a tornado right now. Could that change? Sure, it's weather, right? It changes every second, it changes every minute, but right now I don't see any sign of any significant rotation here. What I see is a straight line wind signature, and also I'll turn the lightning data back on. Look at that. I mean, it is just like bombs over Baghdad lightning style there. Northern Lee, Southern Chambers County. It probably sounds like an artillery exercise right now. Cannons are just roaring nonstop from RTJ back up 280 towards Waverly there. I'll turn the lightning off again because quite frankly, we can't see anything with it on the screen, but gosh, that is a ton of lightning in there. We'll go back, look for rotation. Don't see any. I have to keep an eye on that out down here near the vet school. That's south of Wire Road. Here's I-85. That's the Lee-Macon line. That's Highway 14. So right out there, could you call that rotation? I'd probably need to see a couple of other scans of it doing that before I really called that rotation. It's in a part of the storm where rotation honestly doesn't make much sense. So we'll keep an eye on it. But again, nothing really that just jumps off the screen at us. Let's go down south now. Down here, same thing, you know. The storms need to be watched, but there's no real huge rotation situation right now. Raymer's getting bad. Hail just hit. Okay. Yeah, look, talking about students in trailers in Lee County, that's not a problem. This is a straight line wind situation as of this moment, and as of this moment, there's no need for them to go anywhere. They would be putting themselves in more danger driving on roads with wind and rain than running from a tornado that has yet to form and may not ever form. So I understand where you're coming from, but my advice is staying put is statistically the best thing for them to do right now. If we see something spin up, that advice may change, but I think that's a long shot. So there you go. Can we go to sleep in Montgomery? Let's look and see. I would say, yeah, you can. Let's go into the Birmingham radar. That'll give us a little better look. But yeah, the severe weather threat in the city of Montgomery really has ended for downtown, north, and west Montgomery. East Montgomery, it's still kind of stormy, right? Like if you look out here, Taylor Road, AUM, it's still coming down really heavy, but this is not the part of this that would rotate. So for Montgomery, I can't give you a complete all clear yet. If my family lived in Montgomery and asked could they go to sleep, I would say yes. I think the odds of anything happening there are extremely minor. The storms I'm watching, Lee County, and then this mess down here coming out of Butler and into northern Crenshaw and South Montgomery County. That area didn't get much rain today, and it was warmer there than it was in a lot of parts of the state. So we got to keep an eye on that. The good news is I think the wind shear is lifting out to some degree. That helps. We're not done with it yet, but the finish line is approaching here, I promise. So can we go to sleep? Lake Martin, Highway 50. Yes, actually, you can. Let's do this. Seems like a lot of people are wondering about that. We'll draw our line here. If you live anywhere north of that line, you're fine. So most of Montgomery, Wetumpka, it's done. Lake Martin, it's done. Dadeville, Alex City, New Site, Union, Lafayette, Buffalo, 5 Points, Kellyton, Ray, Rockford, Flag Mountain, Clanton, Jemison, Thorsby, Maplesville, Stanton, Lomax, Gap of the Mountain, Billingsley, Marbury, Prattville, Pine Level, Otaugaville, Independence, Selma, Marion, Demopolis, Linden, Camden, Millers Ferry, Lounsboro, Hayneville, Braggs. It's done. There's no more severe weather for you. Anywhere south of that line, we still have a threat that will linger for a little while longer anyway. That runs from Auburn to East Montgomery to Greenville and Monroeville and points southeast from there. The good news is the farther east we go, the lower the threat gets. It's not zero yet, but again, the finish line is in sight on this. So there you go. Is there rotation in Auburn? Sounds crazy out there. No, there's not any rotation in Auburn. General weather warning question. In the event of a severe thunderstorm warning, should we go to our outside tornado shelter when living in a mobile home? I personally would not. You do whatever makes you and your family feel comfortable. I personally would not, but again, that's a judgment call, and that's your call, not mine. So that's how I see that. East Tallahassee. Let's look. Life's getting better in Tallahassee. A lot of these storms have weakened. It's still really raining. These are still producing some lightning. So heavy rain, thunder, lightning, and gusty wind lingers in Tallahassee for another 30 minutes or so. But the overall severe weather risk has gotten a lot lower. Troy, it really hasn't even started there yet. You've got a while longer. This is what you're going to have to deal with. The worst of it in Troy will happen between about 1:30 and 4 o'clock in Pike County. Is this the second wave of storms now? Honestly, there's been multiple clusters of storms. This is the last wave, I can tell you that. This is the end of it. When this clears, we're done for a while. Whew. When does the lightning stop at East Montgomery? I think you got another 30 minutes and then it's gone. So, there you go. Now, someone was asking about Saturday. So I'm going to show you the latest graphic from the Storm Prediction Center. This gets a little messy because it has the day one outlook overlaid on it. The way this graphic's made, you actually have to go in manually and turn that off, which I'll do before I show it again. But no, I don't think Lee County is going to get a tornado. If I thought there was going to be a tornado in Lee County, I would 100% tell you exactly that. I think there is a threat of damaging wind right now. It's going to be really windy and really loud, and it's going to rain really hard. There's going to be a lot of thunder and lightning. That's what I think. Okay, so the yellow area here and the brown area here, that's where the Storm Prediction Center has drawn a new map for Saturday. We'll get another one of these, by the way, in just a couple of hours. We'll share that, too, when we get it. They've highlighted all of Alabama with severe weather being possible. And then they've drawn a 30% area that runs from Louisiana into Mississippi and West Alabama. This is for Saturday night, primarily. Listen, a lot of the daytime Saturday is going to be dry. But then Saturday night and into very early Sunday morning, there is a risk of strong to severe thunderstorms yet again. And a lot like this event, I think it will be a damaging wind and tornado threat that evolves. I will tell you, the jet stream dynamics are probably going to be stronger on Saturday than they were tonight. The amount of warm, muggy air is probably going to be more significant and more of a guarantee on Saturday night than it was tonight. Even though most of us ended up getting warm enough, it just took too long for it to happen, for there to be big tornadoes. Thank goodness. Saturday, we may not get quite as lucky. So we will keep looking at data. We're going to have a kind of coordination series of text and calls later today. It's Thursday now, so Thursday, late morning, early afternoon, on whether or not we will need to declare Saturday a first alert weather day. We don't ever do that lightly. That's always something that we constantly are tweaking to make sure we're not under-alerting you or over-alerting you. We're meteorologists, so we tend to side on the err on the side of caution, but it never comes from a place of trying to hype anything. It's just we want to make sure you're prepared. Like we had an EF2 or 3 tornado hit Coffeyville tonight. We don't know how bad the damage is or if anyone's hurt, but if that had been one county over in Wilcox, that would have been pretty bad, right? In our area. And yes, I will have you covered Saturday night. Me, Amanda, Madeline, Nick, the whole team, if necessary, will be here. So, there you have it. So there's our line. That's still the roughest storm in the States over here in Lee. We'll make sure we still don't see any rotation in it. I do not. Keep an eye on that. That's rotation E. It's nothing. I would need to see another scan or two before I really committed to calling that rotation. So we'll kind of just leave this right here. This is right now in the something to watch category. So we'll just watch that. Can Canada go to sleep? Yeah. Make yourself a big Crown and Sprite, the Canadian whiskey. Have a little nightcap and head on to bed. It's really cold in Canada right now. Dang, and I thought Saturday would be uneventful. Hey, look, most of Saturday may be uneventful. It will really be Saturday night, is my suspicion. Yes, Montgomery is good to go to bed. WRBL just said broad rotation over Opelika High School. That's what we're watching right here. I need to see another scan or two before I really commit to calling that true rotation. So I took radar meteorology from a guy named Gene Merritt at South Alabama. I actually took it at Mississippi State as well. Great group of professors at State, great group at South Alabama. And Gene Merritt worked at the National Weather Service for a long time, and he taught me that in order for them to issue a tornado warning, in order for something to be concerning, you need to see it on multiple tilts of the radar and for multiple scans. So for rotation to be really dangerous, it needs to have depth, meaning it's not just one slice that sees it, it's multiple slices, and it needs to have duration, depth and duration. It needs to be deep rotation that lasts for multiple scans. Right now what we've seen is one scan at one tilt. So that's why I say we're just going to watch, wait, and see before we jump off with that. Yeah, look, and people asking about the storm. Look, whether this is rotation or not this is a nasty storm. Tons of wind, tons of lightning, tons of heavy rain. I've been banging that drum for 30 minutes now that this is the strongest storm in our part of the state easily, and maybe the whole state. So we'll watch to see if it begins to rotate more. But the screaming message right now is there is a ton of heavy rain and lightning in this. Rotation in East Montgomery? No, you're good. Now, the other thing that's happening, by the way, this is the Birmingham radar. Maxwell's down. So, yeah, it's still there. So, yeah, I think we can confidently say there is some modest rotation there east of downtown Opelika. But it is just that. It is relatively modest rotation. We don't see any sign of tornado debris. The Beer and Shear marker still has it as weak. Storm relative velocity is messy, but a signature. Base velocity is messy, but has a signature. The reflectivity, this would be embedded within rain in kind of the bottom center of a storm. That would be a little bit of an unusual place to have it, but not off the charts. So I don't see enough rotation there to make me believe there's a tornado. Put it that way. Is it almost over in Auburn? Yes, it is. John Smith, why don't y'all get a radar in West Alabama like Channel 8 has? There's a lot I could say about that I'm not going to. Yeah. Next. Can you stop being annoying? That was a question I just got. Are you asking me to stop being annoying or someone else? Just clarify that for me, and then I'll give you some answers there. Don't see any rotation along Hyundai Boulevard. By the way, we are constantly working to get a radar put in West Alabama. We want the federal or state government to do it, and I want it to be an S-band or a C-band radar that is a large, powerful radar, because I think the people in West Alabama should have the same level of radar coverage as the people who live in the Birmingham suburbs, and the people who live in East Montgomery, and the people who live in Madison, and the people who live in Daphne and Fairhope. These really nice areas that have this really phenomenal radar coverage, I think they deserve the same as that. I don't think they deserve some smaller, dinky radar that when it rains really hard on it, you can't see anything on it. So you wanted the answer, that's the answer. And I'm never going to stop working until something happens out there that is big and good and meaningful and useful and helps those people. The end. Thank you for your time. Have a good one. Oh, yeah, okay. So there's a guy who keeps asking if he can take a shower in Millbrook. Good grief. Can I block Kodak Black? Is his name, Kodak Black. Yeah, go shower. How long has it been since you had a shower, Kodak? Let's talk about that first, because we need to talk about like supply and demand. If the demand is high, then you need to, like, has it been a week? Has it been a day? Where are we in this whole thing? Your name is Kodak. That makes me think you might be kind of an outdoorsy type. Maybe it's been a few days. I would hit the shower. It is safe to shower in Millbrook right now. The core of that storm is past you. All right. You know, when I woke up this morning, if you told me that would be a question I would get on a Facebook Live today, I would not have thought that was going to be it. But here we are. Life is so fun. Shaking so bad, living in Beauregard is so traumatizing. There you go. Beauregard, the worst of this storm is going north of you. We see no rotation at all with the storms coming downstream. I don't even really see much potential for straight line wind damage in Beauregard right now. Most of that would be up here in northern Lee. So we got you. We're watching this storm like a hawk. We watch all the storms over here like a hawk. So I get it. I know where you're coming from, but take a deep breath. I promise we got you. That's a big mess, huh? Fort Novacell probably gives us a better look in there. I don't see any rotation in any of that. Hey, Montgomery, it's through. You're done. Risk of severe weather has ended for the city of Montgomery, for all of it. Prattville, it's done. Hayneville, it's done. Wetumpka, it's done. Eclectic, it's done. Lake Martin, it's done. Everywhere west of there, it's done. Broad perspective here, it's this line. It runs now from Auburn to Grady and Highland Home and Georgiana, and then curves back down into southwest Alabama. It's moving east very rapidly. These always are faster than the models say. I will say, we told you this morning that we thought the worst of it in Montgomery would be around midnight to 2. It was on the front end of that range, but that worked out pretty well. It's coming on east pretty quick here. Is this the same activity we will see Saturday night? No, it's a different system, different front. Has it passed Opelika High School? No, it's still storming there. Really heavy rain. No sign of rotation. Gusty wind, that's about it. Prediction for Eufaula. Storms are on the way for Eufaula. All of this back here is going to move east towards Eufaula. It will arrive around between 2 and 3 in the morning. It will be gone by 5:30 or so. So you've still got some time to wait in Eufaula. Pike Road is good. Yep, you're fine. Will the system be stronger Saturday night? Could be. We don't know yet. I'm a big believer in, like, when you played sports and the coach says like one game at a time. If I'm looking at a lot of stuff for Saturday, then that's time I could have been using to look at a lot of the stuff for tonight. You know what I mean? So like, I want to make sure my focus is on the first one, right? There will be plenty of time later today, tonight, tomorrow for us to crunch hours worth of data looking at Saturday. And we will, right? We got meteorologist Amanda Curran coming in here in a little bit. I'll be here. Madeline's in the background. Nick's off this week, but he looks at stuff too. We'll be going over that nonstop. So, yes, there is some concern for Saturday night. No, don't be anxious about it. We will look at it and figure it all out later today. One day at a time, one game at a time, right? That's the whole kind of thing. High winds and lots of hard rain near Tigertown. Love Tigertown. It's a cool spot. Millbrook, go to sleep? Yes, you can. Yep, you're good. In fact, all of Elmore County, this is done. All of Autauga County, all of Lowndes County, this is over. Most of Montgomery County, with the exception being the far eastern and southern sections. All of Coosa, this is over. It's pretty much over in Tallapoosa. The far southern tip we'll keep an eye on. Chambers, it's all over except for near Valley and Lynette, and even there, 20 minutes from now, it'll be done. Butler County, things are improving there. This will be done there pretty soon. Monroe County, it's over. Clark, it's over. Wilcox, it's over. Dallas, it's over. Autauga, Chilton, Bibb, Perry, Greene, Hale, Marengo, Sumter, Choctaw, Washington. It's all done. Severe weather risk lingers. Autauga, Bullock, Macon, East and South Montgomery County, Crenshaw, Pike, Covington, Escambia, Geneva, Henry, Houston, Dale, Coffee, Barber, Russell, Pike. I think I said Pike already, but right through here, that's it. And I think this will keep moving east pretty quickly. My suspicion is by 5 a.m., this is all out of here. If not, it's really close to it. It always moves east faster than the model thinks. So, if I get struck by lightning in the shower, I'm suing. You said I could shower. Well, Kodak, that would be unfortunate for a number of reasons. First off, I hope you don't get hit by lightning. That would be sad. Secondly, you misspelled suing. So I'm not super scared on that front. In Millbrook, there is no more lightning. So you're good to go. I hope your shower goes well. I hope it is relaxing. Hope you get that Pert Plus all up in your hair and you're ready to go. Please inform us about Fitzpatrick and Union Springs. Sure. So Fitzpatrick is right out here. Union Springs is right down here. So it's stormy down there. Yeah, really heavy rain, thunder. I'll turn on the lightning data. There's plenty of that. Not quite as much as the Lee storm, but still quite a bit of it. Some gusty wind in that as well. So, yeah, that's an intense line of storms. Strongest core of storms right now is over Lynette and Valley. Up 85 there, heading towards the Georgia line. We were watching a little, and I do mean a little, bit of rotation. That's gone away. I'm not even sure you could really say that that was actual rotation. You're really far away from the radar here, by the way. Birmingham radar is a long way from Lee County. So we're watching all of it very carefully, but I don't see anything that makes me think there's a tornado in this. I do think there's gusty straight line wind in this for sure. Let's do this, see what our power outage situation is looking like. Over in Lee now at 200, that number will go up. Tallapoosa is 200, 900 in Elmore, 200 in Montgomery, several hundred in most of these counties, but these numbers are manageable, right? I mean, these are, we're talking about statewide a few thousand power outages. That's actually good considering how strong these storms were earlier today. Can you please update us in Caseta, please? Yeah, it's raining really hard there. I've been kind of in that area several times. But sure, we can do it again. There you go. Raining and raining hard. There's thunder, there's lightning, there's gusty wind. The worst of it will be done with you in about 20 minutes. You'll have leftover rain for a while after that, maybe heavy rain. Some of this back here will clip you, but then things will steadily get better. But the severe weather risk has essentially gone away. Russell, good night. He's heading to bed. Not many power outages in Prattville. Chambers County, the worst of it right now is over Valley and Lynette. That will get better very soon. It's not going to last much longer there. Raymer is all good. Castleberry, storms are lingering there for a little while longer, but overall things are getting better. Beauregard, still stormy there. It's going to be stormier for a while. Worst of it still to come in Beauregard. Right now we don't see any sign of rotation, but it's this back here. This stuff in Macon is going to come across Beauregard, right? Beauregard sits right down here. This stuff right back here. But let me show you. We'll do a quick scan here. We don't see any sign of rotation back into Macon County. So we'll keep an eye on it, but so far so good there. It will be rainy. It will be windy. There will be a lot of thunder and lightning in that as well as that comes across. So it's going to be loud. It's going to wake you up. But the danger level on that is near zero. And then back into Montgomery and Bullock County, you've got more of the same, raining really hard. Southeastern Montgomery County, western Macon, western Bullock, northern Crenshaw. And then there's kind of leftover showery stuff back here from Greenville back over towards Monroeville. A lot of that is, the wind has shifted back here, so this stuff I'm not really concerned about. It's mainly this rain. It's this line right here that has our attention for the possibility of strong straight line wind. Let's take you into Andalusia. We've had a couple of questions about that area, and I'm happy to answer those. So there's our, whoa, I don't want to do that. There's our set of storms down there. That one's coming right into downtown. So the way this is moving, core of this comes right over Andalusia. Heavy rain, thunder, lightning, and gusty wind are on the way. I don't see any rotation in any of this. We'll keep an eye on it, though. Tanya, it depends on exactly how wide the storms are where you are, but generally speaking, 45 minutes to an hour, and this will be gone. Auburn, still storming in Auburn, but things are about to get better there. It's going to take a little while longer than you want it to. And there's the worst of it's up here. These storms will pivot through in the next 30 minutes, but once you get to 1:30 in Auburn, this is all over. It will rain a little while longer, and you'll hear some thunder in the distance, but the severe weather risk part of this will be over at 1:30 in Auburn. So there you go. All right, hey, I'm going to wind this thing down for now. I need to rest my voice is the honest answer here, because if we were to go into a tornado warning scenario, you've heard me sniffling a lot. I've got this head cold thing going on. And I got to preserve a little voice just in case we end up in a tornado warning, right? I don't need to talk it all out. Hanging out with you guys on Facebook. Jackson's Gap, yes, go to bed. How much longer in Opelika? 30 minutes or so. Macon County, you do have some more coming. Yeah, you're not done yet, Kim. How is Raymer looking? Stormy. Yeah, but getting better. Worst of it is past Raymer now. You've got leftover rain and thunder, and that's about it. Tallahassee is clear. Yeah, the tornado risk is over in Tallahassee. Highland Home, but you spelled it out vertically to make sure I saw it. Highland Home's right there. The worst of it is done in Highland Home. Leftover rain and thunder for a while, then life gets better. Still seeing lightning near Hyundai Boulevard. Yeah, there's a lot of lightning behind this and all of this stuff over here. You'll see it, you'll hear it, but none of these cells are severe. So you'll have leftover rain and lightning for a few more hours, even in places where the risk of severe weather has ended. Greenville in Butler County, still stormy, but the worst of it's passing through now. Jack, that's in Coffee County, same thing. Worst of it's actually ahead of you still. Jack, the worst of it, probably about 2 to 4 in the morning. Nasal spray works wonders. I may have to go get me some. All right, so I appreciate your time as always. We've spent about an hour and a half together hanging out. If I see anything you need to know about, I'll do another Facebook Live, or I will post it on the page, and we'll do app video updates. If we see anything threatening, we'll break into programming on WSFA, so look for us there. I'll post a link to that coverage if we end up in continuous coverage. So hope you all have a wonderful evening. Take it easy. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to rest my voice for a minute.